Trackmania celebrated its 5-year anniversary this summer, and released the longest campaign map they have ever created, with 41 checkpoints and an author time of 5 minutes. Not only is this map very long, but it has some truly impressive shortcuts and optimizations. This is a story of Trackmania's longest campaign map, and how truly insane it is to try and compete for the fastest time. This is map 25 from the summer 2025 campaign. The map is listed as advanced difficulty and as a platform/mixed map because it has tricky jumps, tight precision, and taking a fall means having a big penalty. This map has a lot of detail, but for now I'll just focus on the main parts you need to know. The map is divided into 5 main sections: white, green, blue, red, and black. First is the white section, which consists of 2 fast vertical drops, plastic curves, a reactor climb, and the first of many challenging pipes. Next is the green section, which consists of 4 more pipe zones, with some added spinning obstacles. Some downhill pipes, uphill pipes, level pipes, and the first quarter pipe, which leads you around and into some more pipes. Next is the blue section, which is a series of plastic obstacles, a ramp pipe, a quarter pipe, and finally a spinning pipe. Next is the red section, which consists of a huge reactor jump, a plastic quarter pipe, another pipe section, and another reactor climb. Finally is the black section, which consists of a small quarter pipe, some challenging technical turns, tight jumps, and one more large quarter pipe before the finish line. My first successful run took over 8 minutes to complete, with 30 respawns. The plastic pipes were my biggest obstacle at first, taking them too fast, turning too much, and too little. Many respawns at basically every plastic turn. I knew mastering this obstacle would be crucial if I wanted to improve, since there were 8 pipe sections throughout the map. Another challenging section for me was the reactor launch, getting too much speed and clipping the checkpoint, flying too far into the wall or too short into the water. My third weakness was the quarter pipes. This map has 5 quarter pipes, but the most difficult for me was the third in the red section. I would often not turn enough, perhaps because the material of this one was plastic, which is more slippery. On a side note, this part of the map was so confusing to me at first, I had no clue where to go. Additionally, the blue section took me many attempts. Staying straight for the jump and managing the drop down was difficult. Counterintuitively, I found that I needed to slow down in order to improve my time. I was trying to hit every section at full speed, but the pipe zones would not allow it. After lots of repetition and decreasing my speed on the pipe zones, I began to make some solid improvements. Over the course of the next 3 days, I was able to acquire the author medal, breaking the 5-minute barrier. Four minutes 36.391 seconds. I felt very good about this time, beating the author medal by 24 seconds, and having most of the map running smoothly. Now, with a decent author medal run, I felt ready to take a look at the top competitors' times, whose times seemed suspiciously quick. Before I show the top replays, there is some important context to know. In the green quarter pipe section, the intended path is to collect this checkpoint, turning left into the pipe zone, staying balanced along the pipe, then dropping down before entering the blue section. In the blue, I would climb to the top of the slide before dropping down. In the red section, I would aim to land on the dirt, trying to stay straight and continue into the sweeping left turn. After the reactor, I would go around this corner to hit the plastic quarter pipe, then continue through the next checkpoint. Finally, at the end of the black section, I would take a wide approach for the large quarter pipe before the finish. Now, with the right context, it's time to look at the top times. Now, what I saw in the top replays seriously shocked me. The top players discovered a shortcut after the first quarter pipe in the green section, skipping the pipe section and saving about 5 seconds. Then in the blue section, players jumped off the side, skipping the drop down, saving around 1 second. But what came next blew my mind again. Players performed a bug slide after the reactor launch, maintaining incredible speed around the turn. Players also skipped the plastic quarter pipe, either spinning around in the air, which was a bit faster, or taking the safer approach and double respawning the checkpoint as soon as you reach it. Finally, the last quarter pipe could also be shortcut by turning in between the trees, or taking the safer approach dropping off just after the trees. There was a lot to take in here. 5 new routes that I'd need to learn if I wanted to compete for the top times. I chose to learn the shortcuts in order, starting with the quarter pipe shortcut, jumping back to the first quarter pipe and sideways to the next checkpoint. This cut was pretty straightforward, but there were some key discoveries here. First, to successfully jump back to the quarter pipe, I had to take a wide turn. Taking the turn too sharply resulted in crashing the wall. Additionally, while jumping to the next checkpoint, it was intuitive for me to hold left off the jump, because that's where I was jumping towards. But if I kept holding left, the car would land upside down every time. I discovered a small trick that made getting a smoother landing much more consistent. Turning the car to the right and holding it just after the jump made the car spin in the air, but provided a much more consistent landing. A bit later on, while reviewing the replays again, I discovered an even more consistent landing strategy. Doing a quick turn to the left, then holding to the right, prevented the car from spinning at all, providing the best landing for the shortcut. Next, I began attempting the blue shortcut. This one felt very random at first, but I soon realized I needed a lineup. To make the cut more consistent, the car should be positioned in a specific manner, aiming in between the next checkpoint and the blue ramp. The reactor bug slide was soon after. In Trackmania, the bug slide is performed by holding accelerate, brake, and turn all at the same time, while the car is perpendicular to the direction of travel. This trick helps maintain incredible speed around a turn without losing traction. The most difficult part here was controlling the reactor to set up a correctly oriented landing. After many failed attempts, I found that by releasing acceleration for about half a second and turning left for a quarter of a second before the reactor reset would give a good setup. Then it was a matter of managing acceleration to drop the car at the right distance. I found that about a 3-second release worked well. The final step was deciding when to release the bug slide. I found it difficult to hold the bug slide for more than a split second. If I held it too long, I would over-rotate and crash into the fence. The red shortcut was more straightforward. I found a good lineup just to the left of this balloon's shadow, and taking a sharp approach worked very well. Finally, I practiced the tree shortcut. Taking a wide approach at the checkpoint gave a good lineup, then air braking to give the car a smooth landing. I began attempts with the goal to include all these shortcuts and have 0 respawns. But this proved to be very challenging. Over the course of the next 2 days, I encountered numerous failures. Crashing during the reactor climb, and crashing during the reactor dropdown. Trying to carry too much speed around the pipes, crashing the reactor jump, and everything in between. My hand was even cramping from using the keyboard. I eventually decided to switch to a controller and take a break from the keyboard. After 5 days on the map, I finally got this run. Four minutes, 4.476 seconds. I felt very good about this run, shaving off more than 30 seconds from my attempts just 2 days ago, incorporating most of the shortcuts and having no crashes. So how does my time compare to the leaderboard? My time is 38.891 seconds slower than the world record, placing me in 1,226th place. And with a total of 38,008 players, this time manages to fall in the top 3.2%. There's actually another shortcut that I want to share. Something so crazy that I didn't even attempt it in my 5 days of playing the map. This is the current world record holder, Giuliano, who is 2 seconds faster than second place, with the help of this crazy trick. This is no ordinary Trackmania map. This track contains challenging obstacles where failure results in a big time penalty, and completing the map with no respawns is a challenge on its own. Risking every turn and pushing the limits is insane, something only the top players are capable of. I did not break 4 minutes on this track, but I accomplished my goal of pulling off all the tricks in one run with 0 respawns. I learned valuable skills that will undoubtedly be used again. Discovering how to drive pipes and quarter pipes, spot lineups, control the car's rotation off jumps and through reactors. Map 25 is not for the faint of heart. It will frustrate you and force you to adapt at every turn. Every day has failures, and only the days where you try to get better are where improvements are made. I have not mastered Map 25, but I certainly took a chunk out of its playbook. So, if I ever return to Map 25 again, I know where I'll pick it back up.